Hey there, athletes and parents. Looking for a tool to help your child get recruited? Look no further than Clifton Kennedy and Winning Edge Digital with websites for high school athletes. So whether you play football, basketball, baseball, soccer, or any sport, we cover it all. These websites have everything you need to get started on your journey to becoming a collegiate athlete. Check out Clifton Kennedy and Winning Edge Digital with websites for high school athletes. That's winningedgedigital.com. You can call us at 864-272-2720. Again, that's 864-272-2720.
All right, everybody, we want to welcome you to Tuesday Tiger Talk. We have a jam-packed show, so we're going to get this thing started off, as always, with my co-host in crime, the man behind Monday through Friday CFB Morning Spaces. I'm talking about Mr. Anthony Weeks. Anthony, what's up?
Hey, how we doing today, Jay?
Doing pretty good, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I want to introduce somebody else. We ain't got Bug here right now, our picks of the week guy, but he will be here a little later. So I'm gonna introduce Mr. Clifton Kennedy, owner of Winning Edge Sports Network.
What's up, man? Yeah, what's up, everybody? How are things going tonight? I'm ready to kick this show off.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We appreciate you joining us. Can you tell us a little bit about Winning Edge for the listeners?
Yeah, sure can. Winning Edge Digital is Winning Edge Sports Network is the name of the company. I started a company called Winning Edge Digital back about 2 or 3 years ago, and the whole purpose of that company was to help athletes that are that need websites and that are being recruited. So basically what I do, instead of an athlete sending 3 or 4 links to a recruiter, I give them their own domain, their own branded website, and everything they need in one space. So basically they just send their, like, for example, we have Cutter Woods in here tonight. I did his website. And if you go to cutterwoods.com, you can see exactly everything that, what I do. So yeah, we just put it all in one spot. And that way a player can send one link to a recruiter and they can see everything about their website. So that's pretty much a nutshell of what I do.
Sounds great. Hey, Jay, I heard we have a recruiting limo nearby.
What? Are you serious, man? We got the limo up? Oh, yeah, here we go. Let me open the door. All right. Guess what, folks? We have Mr. Cutter Woods. Cutter, you there?
Y'all hear me?
Yeah,
cool.
Brother, what's going on?
I'm doing good.
What's going on, Cut? How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good deal, man. Good deal. So, this is my man Cutter Woods. He's out of he's a junior out of Westside High Sophomore. I knew that, man. I knew that. And he's out of Westside High School. So, Cutter, tell us a little bit about yourself and how your year's going to school this year.
Well, like you said, I'm at Westside, and last year I went to Eastside, and we moved to Anderson, me and my family, not too long ago, and we really like it so far. And season's going really well. We're 7-2 right now, and we'll be in playoffs for next week.
Nice. So I guess you pretty much answered my second question, which was, how do you like your first year at Westside?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it's a lot of fun. I mean, a lot of talent around me, so it makes my job easier. And love the coaches, and I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So I hear you're starting to get some attention around some recruiting circles. What kind of offers do you have on the table, man? Tell us
So
about
right
that.
now, I have Georgia Tech, Miami of Ohio, Liberty, and Coastal Carolina.
That's awesome, man. So which one of those, now that you know you have those offers, which one of those would you prefer to go to, or do you know yet?
Probably Liberty and Coastal are definitely my favorite.
Gotcha.
Really
Gotcha. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man. So I heard you were out. I think it was at Liberty last weekend.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that, man.
Well, so it was really cool. It's just a cool atmosphere up there, and it's a Christian campus, which is pretty cool. And the coaches, they're class act, and the facilities are actually really nice. And they played BYU, and they beat BYU, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's cool, man. So I know you've been to Cutter. I know you've been to a lot of QB legacy camps, and your Ramon Robinson is your QB coach.
Yes, sir.
So tell us your thoughts on the camp and what you like and what you learned.
Well, as Ramon Robinson, he's the QB, the QB trainer I go to, and he's one of the best in the country, obviously. And the QB legacy camps are run by him and other QB coaches from around the country that he's good friends with, and it's real. It's super cool to go to. It's a lot of fun, and they give you a lot of good info and just tips, and you get to learn a lot.
Yeah. So out of one, I know you've been to a bunch of them. If you could pick one of those camps that you've been to, what's one thing that you've learned from all those coaches at those camps?
There's a big thing. It's just, there's a lot of small details, obviously, I could name out. But, like Donovan McNabb, he's one of the coaches, and I'm sure y'all know his name. And just so many things that, just mental tips that he just gives that, there's so many to state. And it's just a lot of stuff about staying focused and keep pushing through.
That's cool, man. So, you were talking earlier about you have a lot of cool teammates around you that are very athletic. Who are some that you think other folks should know about?
Jamar Boston and Josh Williams are my two receivers, and they're the best junior receivers in the state. And we just got to get them out there, just exposed. And they've had a great. They've both had a blow up season.
That's awesome, man. That's good. Growing up, which you're still growing up, you're only what? How old are you?
I just turned 16 last
16.
week.
16. Yeah, so that's awesome, man. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
So who is your favorite college player, past or present, or NFL player, past or present, that you think you learned a lot of stuff from and that you really, really like?
Well, I grew up a Pittsburgh fan, so I had to say probably Ben Roethlisberger. Like watching him. I know he retired last year, but I like watching him, and it's just he's probably my favorite.
That's good, man. Well, man, that's all the questions I got. Does anybody else have any questions that they might want to ask Cutter before we let him go?
Yeah, I got one. Hey, Cutter, I'm Anthony. Nice to meet you. I was just wondering, who's the hardest team you went up against in the Upstate? Out of the teams you played so far.
The Upstate, I would say we had our two losses are BHP, which was our first game of the season, and then Greenville, which was about 3 weeks ago. And I would say Greenville, but BHP probably because they gave us the most offensive problems, and Greenville they really just outscored us. But BHP they gave us the most defensive, us scoring problems.
Hey, Cutters, Jay here. I got a question for you. If you could pick your dream school, what would your dream school be? And just I guess what kind of university makes your dream?
I would say, I don't know if I have a specific one. I would like to stay local. I want to be in the Southeast, and I really don't want to go up north or out west. And all the good football's out here anyways. And I would say I'm not too far from Clemson. That'd be really cool to go to. I mean, there's a lot of good schools around here that are just. I mean, I think it'd be awesome if I ever got to go to one.
Hey, Cutter, who are you a fan of in college? Like, who's your team?
I am a Clemson fan.
That's right. I know Cutter. He's a good dude.
Hey, well, Cutter, I just wanted to ask you one last question, and I just first of all want to thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for being a part of Winning Edge Sports Network and the Tuesday Tiger Talk show. We wish you nothing but luck. And this is coming from a former Westside football player. I used to play for Westside, Cutter, so I've been to a lot of your games. I've recorded them. I've watched you really make this Ram offense look great. So I wish you nothing but the best, and hopefully I'll get to see you in your last game. But I got a question. I was at one of your games, and one thing that I noticed was the announcer calling you Hollywood Cutter.
Yeah.
So I want to know, where does this Hollywood come from? I know you got the long blonde hair. You know, you got the Trevor Lawrence thing going on, it looks like. But where did the Hollywood come from?
I have no idea. He started calling me that after the Teal Hanna game. And Mr. Tommy Price, he's our announcer. I had driving school with him, so I kind of know him I know him as like a person. So I don't know why he started calling me that.
Well, I tell you what, you definitely are Hollywood on the field. Like I said, I've seen you in many games this year, and you're doing a great job, and we wish you nothing but the best, and we'll be following you for the next couple of years, and who knows, you never know who's going to give you an offer, and we hope I personally hope it's Clemson gives you an offer, but if not, hey, I got a granddaughter goes to Coastal Carolina, so, I can see you down there too, so we wish you nothing but luck no matter which way you go.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, Cutter, thanks for coming on. And if you want to check Cutter out, go to CutterWoods.com.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Talk to you later, Cutter. Thanks a lot, man.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, man.
All right. We just had the star of Westside Rams, one of the guys that helped them become a mainstay in 4A football. We're talking about Cutter Woods. We wish him nothing but the best, and good interview by Mr. Clifton. Anthony, I see somebody sitting beside you right there. Who is the man of the hour? Lady screaming out, too hot to trot, too sweet to be sour.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is the picks against the spread. It is Bet with Boog. How you doing today, Mr. Boog?
Boog, you there?
Maybe he ain't gonna talk until I get it right. It's Bet on Boog, right?
Well, we do know Boog was attempting to pick up his daughter, so we'll give him a second to relax a little bit. First of all, I want to say that we're also going to be having a special show on December 1st. That's a Thursday. It's going to be a recruiting summit where we'll be having coaches and NIL recruiter. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have everybody, Anthony and Clift and Boog, from around the United States football, and we're going to have them come on. We're going to have recruits come up and talk and ask them questions, where they need to send their film, how they need to do it, all these different kinds of things that we're going to be here to help recruits get recruited and get on the teams that they want to play. And the best way to do that is to have some of the top minds in college football to come out and tell you, hey, this is what you need to do. This is where you need to put your tape. This is the way you need to do your HUD tape. These are the guys that we want on our show to help our young recruits, our young men, get to go to the colleges they want to go to. This is going to be done on December 1st. It's a Thursday. We're already getting a lot of college recruiters that are wanting to be on the show. We're telling all the young men that are out there that want to get recruited to be on that show, to show up, tell your friends, your players on your team, spread the word out. We're going to be shooting out a lot of tweets on it, and also through Facebook. Our job is to help you get to where you want to be. And Anth, what do you think about that?
Man, it sounds like it's going to be a great time. Hey, but we can't skip too far ahead. Everybody, please tune in next week, because we're going to have Mr. Jaden Williams. He's down in the listeners right now. We're going to have Mr. Jaden Williams from Chesney. high school in here next week. So don't get too far ahead of December 1st. Let's worry about this week and next week. 'Cause we got a great show this week and next week for y'all.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
We'll have Jordan Williams on this week from Chesney.
Yep, and also next week we're going to have Cutter's QB coach, Ramon Robinson, so he'll be on too. So, yeah, it's going to be a great show next week. But this show is just kicking off, so let's get it going.
All right, well, we have some hosts, some co-hosts that are running a little late. We have yet to hear from Woody Danzler today. I think something might have came up. We're not sure what's going on. We'll be still waiting for him to show up. CJ from College GameDay is at a late meeting, so he'll be on here about 7:25, 7:30. So we'll have him on here in a little bit. So right now, let's go to the Clemson news and notes. This is brought to you by Ride and Shine Detail of Anderson, South Carolina. Ride and Shine. If you need your car detailed, call Sean. First off, Clemson versus Syracuse notes. We're only going to go through these briefly. We're going to go over them a little bit stronger next week, as next week will be our week that we go to Notre Dame. This is a bye week, so this week we were set up to more or less talk to Mr. Woody Danzler and also talk to CJ from College GameDay. So I'm going to go over these real quick. Clemson beat Syracuse 27-21. The Clemson defense smothered in the second half the Orange. And also, the Clemson ran for a season-best 293 yards. Clemson is now 8-0, 6-0 in the ACC, and pretty much is the Atlantic Division champion. Of course, we got to beat Louisville, but we know that's going to happen. Clemson baseball this past Sunday beat East Carolina 10-8 in a scrimmage Sunday. Clemson cross-country men's ranked now 13th in the South region. Clemson soccer men's Sunday beat UMass 3-1, but fell to Louisville on Friday 1-0. Louisville is ranked number 11 in the nation. Tigers are now 9-5-1, 2-3-1 in the ACC. Ladies cross country competed well in the Crimson Classic. I don't have any notes on who finished where. They didn't post those. And then ladies soccer this past Sunday beat BC on Senior Day with a 3-0 shutout. Now 8-4-4 in the nation and 4-3-2 in the ACC. And that is our look at Clemson sports this week, brought to you by Ride and Shine Detail. Anthony, you got any thoughts about the Clemson game? You or Clifton?
Man, hey, go ahead, Ant. I think you go first. Go for it.
I'm sorry, I cut out a little bit. Going up here and up north, my signal cuts out a little bit. What'd you say, Jay?
I was asking about your thoughts on the Clemson-Syracuse football game on Saturday.
Okay, my first initial thoughts are, man, I'm glad I got out of there without having a heart attack. Yeah, I know I talked to you Saturday, Jay, and I was in shambles that first half. I mean, they jumped out to a 21-7 lead, and I thought they wasn't going to look back. I thought it was the day that Clemson was finally going to get something down at home. But when Dabo Swinney needed to make a choice, he pulled DJ, who was struggling, put in Cade for a little spark. It wasn't, he didn't do too much to show out and take the job. But man, we ride Will Shipley all the way to the goal line. Let's go. Tigers all the way, baby.
Yeah, man. I was scared just like you, and it was definitely a crazy first half and something I didn't expect. I knew Syracuse was good, but I didn't realize they were that good. And that running back and that receiver, I think that receiver is better than people give him credit for. He's a great receiver, and he caught some balls that I was like, wow. He surprised me. I didn't feel like the running back did a lot. He made a couple key runs, but I thought we did a pretty decent job with him. But that fourth quarter, man, And with Cade coming in, I thought we did a great job in the second half. The second half, we wrapped it all up. I'm starting to think that we're a second half team.
Play for next week, but I do want to say Syracuse last 8 drives was 30 plays. We gave up 72 yards and no points. That's a little stat for you. I'm not going to give too many more little nuggets away. I'm going to save it for next week when we break down that and go into Notre Dame. But I believe you're right. We're a second half team. But I believe we need to do a little better job containing the run of the quarterback on the outside. Because, man, he was gashing us on the outside, it seemed like, on them QB run plays. I mean, I didn't know if we was ever going to stop him. I mean, they said they knew he was going to run. It didn't seem like we was doing nothing to stop it in the first half. So, we contained Sean. He had what did he have, 50 yards maybe? But he only had 4 carries, which was surprising to me. They used him a little bit more in the passing game. So I don't know why they didn't run the ball because, Florida State had some success running the ball. So I figured they were going to go up the middle a lot. But they only had four up the middle. So that was a little surprising. What about you, Jay? What you think about Will Shipley being the player of the game?
I agree. Will Shipley did a phenomenal job getting us back in that game in the second half, and you gotta give it to the offensive line too. They did what they had to do to protect Cade Klubnik and made sure that we had a chance to get back in that game. The defense did what they did. I tell you what, I think Wes Goen is probably the best second half defensive coordinator in football. I mean, in the second half, we have shut just about everybody down but Florida State. And that is something that and in the Florida State game, we shouldn't have let them come back in it. But that's neither here nor there. That game's over with. So I really think that going into the future, I think we're going to be in good shape, and the best things are yet to come.
Yes, sir, Jay. Hey, Jay, we got CJ on here now, so I'm going to let you introduce him and handle his interview.
All right, everybody. First of all, I just want to say thank you for coming in and listening to the show. Also, we are streaming this, and it'll be on all of our networks. We're also on the Winning Edge Digital YouTube live right now. Cliff didn't know it, but I snuck it in there today, just giving it a shot, seeing how the interference goes. So anyway, without further ado, I want to bring in a gentleman that I met a couple weeks back. Well, I met him a lot sooner than that, but CJ, I just want to say thank you for coming on the Tuesday Tiger Talk show. Glad to have you. It's an honor.
Well, thank you for the introduction. Apologies for me being slightly late, but thank you for letting me come up here.
Tell me a little bit about what you do for College GameDay.
So what me and my team does is we are the social media aspect of everything that revolves around College GameDay. So what our sole job is to, anytime a thing is posted on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, we take it, we get legal rights for it, and we put that on the air. Okay.
Now, recently you were in Clemson. You were part of the crew that comes in. What was it going through trying to get the College GameDay all set up and everything with a hurricane coming through, not knowing if Lee Corso was going to be able to be on the stage? Tell us a little bit about everything y'all was going through on that day.
So the Thursday they arrived in Clemson, Hurricane Ian was bearing down on Florida, dumping a lot of rain on the coast. So they were worried that it would kind of hook left and head towards Seneca. Luckily, it stayed put and went towards the Wilmington, North Carolina region. But usually our game day crew arrives that Thursday before. We set up for the Friday of, and then Saturday morning at 7 o'clock a.m. Our talent, Kirk Herbstreit, Lee Corso, David Pollock, Desmond Howard, and our most recent guest, Pat McAfee, will join the set, And, but yeah, Howard's Rock, my sister actually attended Clemson. So I'm pretty familiar with the campus. I've been there plenty of times, so it's beautiful up there. The game day atmosphere at night is something that you cannot witness anything else. Like there's the Death Valley and Baton Rouge, which we'll be going to very soon next week. But yeah, it was an amazing experience.
Oh, so we know we're going to Baton Rouge next week. Cool. CJ, tell me a little bit about whenever y'all went up to Oregon, having to do it so early in the morning up there. Is it like a different challenge? Do you have to go up there a lot sooner on Thursday because of the fact that you got to start, with a time change issue?
I wouldn't say it was harder. I mean, we have the same procedures of getting there and arriving, but definitely being on campus at 4 a.m. in the morning Pacific time is definitely a time change difference. So that was fun, but it was blast. Get to watch UCLA and Oregon, 2 top 20 teams go at it, and watching an Oregon Duck team who previously got slaughtered by University of Georgia for week 1 come out and just ball. That team's going to be dangerous, and people are underestimating them. They may have lost to the best team in the country, but don't be surprised if Oregon slips in the top 6 in the next 3 weeks.
Oh, okay. Hey, Ant, you or Cliff got any questions you would like to ask CJ?
Yeah. Hey, CJ, who are you a fan of college football? Do you got to be objective running College GameDay, or can you still root for your team?
Well, I'm an alumni of the University of Alabama, so that's where I went to school 7 years ago. My sister is a Clemson grad, and my dad's a Georgia grad. So it's a bit of a fun fest trying to figure out who to root for, but I would root for my boys at Bama. I'll let my sister root for her Clemson gals, and I'll let my mom root for her Mercer. So it's I don't really have an alliance. When you're on game day, so you can pick and choose who you want to win, but obviously I got to stay for the team we're in the city for.
Hey, Chris, it's Cliff Kennedy. How you doing, man? Hello?
She can hear you.
Sorry, what's going on?
Hey, Chris, can you hear me, bud?
CJ, can you hear Cliff?
I can.
You can?
I can.
Okay,
What's
cool.
going on, man?
Hey, man. So, how did you get involved with College GameDay? Like, what was the process of you getting hired on by College GameDay or ESPN, or what all goes into that?
It's kind of a connections thing. So what I tell people all the time is don't put an application in, go meet somebody, because people put faces to names better than they put to a piece of paper. And I did that when I was in college about 7 years ago, and it stuck. So I worked with the SEC Network as a director for 2 years doing our football and basketball games, and they needed someone to do social media because it's so prevalent in our live broadcasts. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try it out. They put you right into the fire. When I say the fire, they put you right into the action. They don't really give you much information, and you just kind of learn on the go. But that's my advice to everyone here is if you want to work at something like that, get to meet somebody. Don't be afraid to reach out. I'd rather you send me an email directly than try to go through an application process, because what that happens is now I know who you are. I know your face. Now let me see if I can put you with somebody that I know. It was through referrals. It took me 5 referrals to get to ESPN, and it started all the way back at SEC Network. It started in Birmingham, Alabama, then it went to Atlanta at Tech, then it went up to Connecticut, then it went back down to Atlanta. So people will help you out, but you have to provide some sort of leverage as to why you deserve to be there and what you can add that they don't already have. So add value to what they don't already have, and then just ball out. What I mean by ball out is be your best. You don't have to be perfect. No one's perfect. But make sure that what you're doing out there is your best work, no matter what you do.
Wow, man, that's a great answer. And I've always said kind of the same thing, that it's not what you know, it's who you know.
No, you're spot on. I mean, a lot of the time, I'll repeat it again. If anybody wants to get interested in that kind of aspect of their career, just reach out. A simple message on LinkedIn. I recommend LinkedIn for a lot of people here that are listening on social platforms. LinkedIn is a great professional business tool. You can find people that are in the same network as you. Email them. It's asked to do a Zoom call. I know we're in a kind of a work from home environment, but it's doing the little things that allow you a bigger advantage. Because at the end of the day, the worst thing you can do is ask. That's the hardest part, is just trying to get your foot wet. And once you get your feet wet, then it opens up a bunch of doors you never thought were possible.
Hey CJ, I got a question for you. What goes into picking the College GameDay sites? Is it a vote, or is there certain people that makes the decision, or do y'all kind of wait till after the games are played?
It's after the games are played. We have a crew that will go through and see what. So, like for instance, we went to Lawrence, Kansas for the TCU game, and so they want to see what would the most excitement be. So, as you all remember, week 2, Appalachian State and Texas A&M, right? Appalachian State pulls out the upset in College Station. So why not ride the momentum? They're going to go to where they think the most retention is going to be. So they're going to go Jackson State for HBCU because that's Jackson State's 7-0. This is a homecoming game, right? I would not be shocked if they go to Baton Rouge next week. Bama versus LSU, Saban versus Brian Kelly. They want the right narrative. They want to see what will you watch when you turn your TV on at night. You're going to go watch this game or this game. So.
Yeah, going back to that, I've noticed that Clemson's pretty high in the numbers, and of course they've also been on the primetime game 3 weeks in a row up until last week, and even last week it was the number one viewed game. Do they look at certain colleges first? I know it's been a while up until this past year. It's been a while since they've been to Clemson. Now, last year, of course, there was reasons why we wasn't where we need to be, but kind of like piggybacking off what you were saying. Do they have certain colleges that they always have in mind every year?
Oh, absolutely. It's not. I mean, they want to go where people want to watch. I would love to go back to Clemson. It was a beautiful city, especially late in the fall when it's a little bit cooler out. For me, I hate the 90-degree Miami temperatures. That does not sit well. For me, I like the mid 50s and 60s at kickoff. I'm a nighttime kind of person. 3:30, okay, you're kind of getting to the mid-afternoon, but nighttime with a live atmosphere, like for instance, I would like to see if Clemson and South Carolina would be the game they select in 3 weeks. Because I know South Carolina is riding this 5-game win streak, and they only got to play 2 more games, and they could go 7-2. It'd be the first time Clemson would have some competition, because I know they've beaten South Carolina every year since I've been in school, but they need to. There's certain qualifications as to what they would watch and why. So,
yeah, a ranked South Carolina game would definitely get the viewers in. Let me ask you this: do the College GameDay crew, say after y'all get done tearing everything down, do y'all actually get to end the game? Besides the announcers and stuff like that.
Oh, good question. I know Kirk is the only guy on the set that doesn't stay. Kirk has to go report. He has to go. He'll tape a different game, a different atmosphere. So, if you remember, last week, for instance, they start in Eugene, right? He flies all the way to Birmingham right after the set's done at noon and gets to Birmingham by 4:30. So, once we're done breaking up, we then get to watch the game from a local atmosphere, and then depending on where they decide to go, I usually will stay for the game. I'll stay at a hotel, and then I'll fly back that next day. But everyone, once we're done, all the commentators, I call them commentators, analysts on our desk, go to the retrospective games they need to commentate for.
Hey, CJ, I know you probably don't know the answer to this because it's one that a lot of people ask, and that is, with Lee, looks like he's, coming to the end of his career as far as, doing some of the things that he normally does. Is there any talk about, is McAfee the replacement, or does Pollock go in there, or do they go a different way? I mean, I'm sure, you can't give us the ins and outs, but, everybody likes to ask that question, so I figure I'd throw it out there.
I don't know his status. I know he's been a staple point for college football for almost 3 decades. He's been the heart and the soul of this team, and because of some health complications, they have asked him to whatever he feels best doing. So what McAfee provides is a little bit more energy. McAfee is kind of like that hype guy. He's going to be raw, he's honest, he's unapologetic. He's the kind of guy you want on a set that will just make the crowd get hyped. That's why they added him, because they knew his energy was up front. Lee's kind of if Lee's the glue, I think McAfee's more of like the introductory. He's a newer, fresher face, but he adds that you can see every time you watch on Saturday mornings. He just adds the energy you're not used to seeing. And that's something needed, finally. I advocated for him for he was supposed to be here a year and a half ago, but for some contract negotiations, it just didn't work out. So it worked out this year.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I was kind of mad at College GameDay and ESPN for taking me away from WWE because I'm a wrestling fan.
He'd be pretty good at wrestling, I wouldn't lie to you.
Is he going to continue to have that alternate broadcast, or is that just here in big games?
That will be continuous.
Okay, I thought it was pretty neat. I went back and rewatched for the Clemson NC State game. He was pretty hilarious.
Well, I thought it was neat that now you said that they're going to Jacksonville State this week, correct? And then they'll be going to Baton Rouge the following week.
Well, they'll be in Jackson, Mississippi this Thursday, and then they'll be, I'm going to guess, the Alabama-LSU game, but I won't know that till Sunday around 10 o'clock. We get a memo that comes out after the game that I don't get to pick. I just get to see where the locations are. They have everything scouted out, so where they think the best matchup will be. They're also, what I would either say Baton Rouge or they're going to go watch Georgia, Tennessee. There's two choices, but I don't make that final call.
Okay. Well, CJ, I do appreciate you coming on the show with us. Boog is not here, so I guess we're going to be doing our college game day picks. He just sent me a text with the picks, so if y'all would like to join, I'm going to pull that up real quick. Ant, you want to ask CJ anything real quick before we get any further?
Do y'all still? I got one. Sorry, it was in the back of my mind. Do y'all still choose? Like, I know next week is Georgia, Tennessee, and I'm pretty sure that would be like a CBS game. Does that kind of decide whether y'all go or not, if it being on a different network?
That does. That's actually a really good question. The network depends on where game day is going to be. Good question.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Hey, CJ, it's Cliff Kennedy. I just wanted to say thanks a lot, man, because it's not every day that you get somebody from College GameDay on a little small Twitter space. So I just want to say thanks a lot for coming on, and appreciate all you do for college sports in general.
Well, thank you for the very kind words. I could stick around for these picks, and then we're doing Inside the NBA tonight. So I'll get back to our studios. And I've always enjoyed talking to you. Jay, you're always been cool to talk to you. I'm always going to be on Spaces here. I'm pretty active. I see you, Bank and Emily. But it's also nice to meet you guys, and I enjoy, like I said, I'm one message away or one question away, and feel free to ask me anything you want, because that's my goal, is working in social media, is to get as many people to understand what's going on and they can act upon it and have a good time. That's the goal of our entire show, is to make sure you feel comfortable and loving of what we're doing.
Brought Bank up. He might have a question for CJ. I didn't know.
No, I just wanted to add context to that question about a CBS game having game day, which I would assume they've done it several times in the past with all the Iron Bowls and then Bama LSU games in the past.
So what usually will happen is they'll announce our TV rights that Wednesday before. So I won't know who the TV people are until the week before. But CBS likes SEC. They've always liked SEC, and so they'll probably, and this is something I don't want to say out loud, they'll probably put Gary on that. We as Bama fans, we don't really like that very much, but they're gonna put Georgia, Tennessee in prime time, or not prime time, 3:30 p.m., which I didn't agree with, because I think it's a much bigger game than that. But that's a programming decision. That's not a social media type thing.
All right. Well, let's get this, guys, and we'll start with the top 25 picks. This week, number 2, Ohio State goes to number 13, Penn State. All right, who we got, Cliff?
Man, I'm rolling with Ohio State. They're just good, man. They're just really good. So I'm rolling with Ohio State.
Ant, who you got?
I got Ohio State big.
Bank, who you got? We got you up here. You can be a guest pick this week.
I'm going to be a rebel and say Penn State in the upset.
CJ, who you got?
I'm going to go Ohio State by a touchdown.
All right. The point spread's -15. So we'll see which way we go. Pick is Ohio State by 79% right now. Number 7, TCU at West Virginia. TCU is a 7.5 negative. Who you got, Cliff?
I'm going to go with TCU. They're they're looking really good. So I'm gonna roll with TCU.
Who you got, Ant?
Yeah, this thing will be the pretty pick, but I got TCU.
Who you got, Bank?
TCU by a lot.
Hey, we got a special guest, Nurse. Give us your thoughts. TCU versus West Virginia.
Go Frogs.
Go Frogs. All right, CJ, who you got?
I'll clear the board. Horned Frogs for the win.
Sounds like good. Looks like the Horned Frogs are going to be undefeated going into the end of the season here. All right, our next game is Notre Dame versus number 16, Syracuse. And of course, none of us like Syracuse after this past week if you're a Clemson fan. But anyway, the point spread is Syracuse by 2.5 negative. If you let's go with you, Mr. Clifton. Tell us who you got, Notre Dame or Syracuse. It's going to be at Syracuse.
Man, I'm rolling with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish because I want them to win, and I don't want them to lose because I don't want them to be pissed off coming into the Clemson game. So I want them to be rolling high, and then we just knock them off their high horse.
Who you got, Mr. Bank?
Syracuse by 3 scores.
3 scores. Ant, who you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go with a different narrative than Cliff. I'm going to have to go with Syracuse as much as I want to pick against both of these teams. I'm going to go with Syracuse just for strength of schedule. And, I really think Notre Dame, they already got terrible losses on the season. So I'd rather see Syracuse maybe with one more loss to Wake Forest and finish 10-2 on the season.
CJ, who you got?
I have upset City. I love Syracuse to death, but Notre Dame, after those first 3 losses of the season, looks totally different. I'm going to go Notre Dame by 14.
Wow. Nurse, who you got?
I'm going to take Syracuse by 7.
And I'm going to agree with you on that one. All right, our next pick is Florida versus Georgia in the cocktail party. I don't care what they call it. It's still the cocktail party. And we got Florida is Georgia is a 22.5 point dog in this. They are everybody's got the money on Georgia. Who you got, Cliff?
Man, I'm gonna go with Georgia on this one.
All right,
they're a lot better.
Who you got, Bank? Like this is a question.
So I had to really think about this one. It took me a long while to think about who I was going to take in this game, but I got Georgia covering the spread.
Georgia covering the spread. Okay, Ant, tell us who you got.
I really wanted to say not so fast, but I forgot who was at quarterback for Florida. It's AR-15. I think Georgia eats them alive. I think it's going to be 48-17. Big Georgia win.
All right. Miss Nurse, what do you have?
Georgia by 3 touchdowns.
Oh, 21. All right. CJ, what you got?
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs. Okay. And I'm just going to go not so fast. Give me the Gators in an upset. We're talking 31-30. That's my upset of the week. Okay. All right, next game is number 8 Oregon versus California. And Oregon is a 15.5 dog in this one. Who you got, Mr. Cliff? Cliff?
Cliff is missing. So I'm going to go take my pick. I'm going to skip ahead. Oh, go ahead, Cliff. Go ahead.
Yeah. I started talking and didn't hit the unmute button. But as much as I want to go against Bo Nix, what he did last week, you can't overlook that. So I'm going to go with the Fighting Ducks of Oregon.
Go ahead, Ant.
Yeah, I'm going to take Oregon. They've looked really dominant after getting blown out by Georgia week 1. So Oregon big.
Who you got, Bank?
Shout out to Dan Lanning for making Mario's old team look better than what they were. Go Ducks.
Nurse, who you got in this game?
I'm taking Oregon.
Oregon. Hey, we got a new guy here, Justin. Justin, who you got? Oregon, California.
Oh, I'm taking Oregon.
Oregon. CJ, who you got?
We'll clear the board. Go Ducks.
Go Ducks, and I'll go Ducks also. Next game we have is number 9, Oklahoma State versus number 22, Kansas State. This is a 3:30 game on Fox. Oklahoma State right now is the leading the picks by 54%. Is a Kansas State negative 2.5. All right, Clifton, give us who you got.
K-State.
K-State. All right, going with the Dogs.
Yeah, buddy.
Who you got, Bank?
Wildcats. K-State.
All right, Kansas State. Justin, who you got?
I mean, Kansas State's just going to be able to run that ball.
All right, Ant, who you got?
I'm going with the heavy favorite in this room. I'm going K-State.
All right, Nurse, give us your thoughts.
Taking Kansas State.
Wow. CJ, who you got in this game?
I'll agree with the last 6 responses. Go Cats.
Well, you know me, not so fast. I'm going to go Oklahoma State. Number 9 goes into Kansas State, number 22, and gets that win. All right, the next game is very vital to Clemson. Number 10, Wake Forest, goes to Louisville. All right, Cliff, give us your thoughts. Who's going to win this game? Looks like Wake Forest is a 5.5 positive.
Man, I'm going with Wake Forest, but I think it's going to be closer than – I think it's going to be super close.
Closer than close. Come on now. Give us who's it going to win?
I said Wake Forest. I think Wake Forest is going to win by, I'll say, field goal.
All right. Bank, who you got?
So playing at home, Louisville, right?
That is correct.
I got Wake Forest, Sam Hartman.
Okay. Nurse, who you got?
So I haven't had a chance to watch these two guys play, these teams, but I'm going to take Louisville by 3.
Okay. And Anthony, who you got?
You might as well order you a Papa John's pizza because that's the only win Papa John's Stadium's going to get that day. Because Wake Forest and Sam Hartman's coming to town. They're going to light up Louisville's DBs. It's going to be a thrashing. You might as well look at the Georgia-Florida game. It's going to be the same result. 40-something to nothing something. I don't know. I don't even want to say. It's going to be like 42 to 10.
to nothing something. I like it.
I agree with you, Nance. I'm going to go with Wake Forest on this one for sure. The Papa John's pizza will be coming fast and heavy. All right. Hold on a second here. Let me get Justin. Justin, who are you picking in this Wake Forest-Louisville game?
Give me Wake. Their offense is going to put some work on them. Give me Wake.
All right. Our next game is number 17, Illinois. I mean, whoever thought we'd say 17th ranked Illinois this year at Nebraska. Illinois is a -7 right now. Let's go to Cliff. Cliff, who you got, Illinois versus Nebraska?
I'm going to go with Illinois.
All right. Bank, who you got?
No more Scott Frost. Shout out to Mickey Joseph, upset Nebraska.
All right, Nebraska. All right. Hey, Justin, who you got in this game?
Give me Illinois running that ball on them.
Illinois run the ball. All right, Nurse, who you got?
I'll take the Fighting Illini.
Fighting Illini. All right, Ants, who you got in this game?
I'm going with the Cornhuskers. Let's go.
Cornhuskers. Let's get it. All right. All right, our next game is one that I'm really looking forward to. It's the 20th ranked Cincinnati at UCF. It's like a childhood second team I got here. UCF. I've really grown to like this team. Cincinnati is a -1 on this as far as the point spread. All right, Clifton, who you got? Cincinnati or UCF?
Man, I'm gonna go with UCF on this one. I'm just kind of winging it because I don't know either team, like the records of either team. So I'm just gonna go with UCF on this one.
Okay, Justin, who you got?
Well, because I've seen Cincinnati play and how they've developed, I'll answer you, Clifton. They have one loss, and that's to the Razorbacks of Arkansas, and that was game 1. I'm gonna go with Cincinnati on this one. I need them to win anyway. So, yeah.
Okay.
Cincinnati.
Bank, who you got?
Cincinnati. I don't trust teams from Florida.
Oh, Nurse, who you have in this game?
Give me Cincy. Sorry, RBJ. I know you're out there somewhere.
And who you got in this game?
I was not real impressed with let me start off by saying I was impressed by UCF the first, couple games of the season, but I was not impressed with them versus East Carolina. They absolutely got throttled. I think they'll get throttled against Cincinnati too.
Not so fast. Give me UCF over Cincinnati and getting into the top 25 because South Carolina is going to end up blowing it all. So therefore, give me UCF making the rankings. UCF over Cincinnati. All right, next game, Missouri at number 25, South Carolina. Ooh, let's see what Clifton has to say on this one.
All right, hold on a second.
South Carolina is -5 on this game, point spread. But while Cliff's doing something, we're going to go to Justin. Justin, give who you got.
I got South Carolina running that ball on them. Them little rooster cocks going to be running that ball. They ain't going to be able to catch them. Give me South Carolina.
All right. Clifton, you there?
Yeah, man. I was on mute the whole dang time. I know South Carolina's on like a 5-game winning streak or whatever, but I'm a Clemson fan, bro. So I can't pull for the lane cops. You know that. So I'm going with is it Mississippi? Who is it? Whoever
Missouri.
the other team is. Missouri. Even though they suck too.
All right, Bank.
Yeah.
I expect Missouri to get a lot of pressure on Spencer Rattler. I think he's going to throw a couple of picks, and I got Missouri on the road.
All right. Nurse, who you have? Is that what you did?
Yeah, I've never
Get
used
that
it.
dang chicken out of
Literally
here.
the
Get that
first
dang
time
chicken.
I've ever used it. Sorry. I didn't
Perfectly
want to say it out
timed.
loud, so there you go.
Okay, you got Carolina. That came out of nowhere. I've never heard Nurse do the soundboard. Okay,
I've
Ant.
never ever used it before, ever.
And tell me who you got.
in my head, I'm wondering, is Missouri better than Texas A&M? And I really can't decide that. I think they're both equal crap teams. So I'm going to pull a Nurse on this one.
I guess we didn't hear it.
I didn't do it. Oh my God, my soundboard's broke. I done used it too many times. But I'm going with the Lane Cox by 10.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm picking Missouri in this game. I picked South Carolina last week only because I hate Jimbo Fisher. This week, Missouri, after what I seen them do with Georgia, even though they didn't win, they played Georgia tough, and Georgia throttled South Carolina. I'm telling you right now, there is no way Missouri loses to South Carolina. Give me Missouri by 14 in this game. I think Shane Beamer and the crowd will be leaving at halftime, and there will be assistant coaches wondering should they leave also. So that's just my thoughts on that. And that's our picks for this week. And I just want to thank everybody for coming on the show tonight. Woody had something that happened, and I guess we'll find out more, and we'll try to get him back on later. I appreciate CJ coming on. Cutter Woods came on also. Next week, we're going to have Jaden Williams, a running back, defensive back from Chesney, South Carolina. He'll be coming on the show. Once again, we're on December 1st. We're going to be holding a recruiting summit show, and it's going to have different recruiting college recruiters that'll be coming in. And they will be talking to all the recruits. We're going to have all the recruits in here. We're going to give them time to get up and ask questions, what they need to do to get recruited, help them with film, with tape, anything that we can do to help these young men get to the colleges that they want to go to. that's what we're here for. We don't care if they go to Clemson, Georgia, LSU, Newberry College. It don't matter to me, as long as we help them get to where they want. Because like they say, only the top 3.7% go to the NFL. And it don't matter where you go, just as long as you go out there and give it 100%, you're going to get seen. So we want to help these young men get to that next level, and we don't care where they go, just as long as they do get to go. So make sure we'll be blasting out tweets about that December 1st show. We've already got a lineup of a lot of recruiters that are wanting to come in and be a part of it. And also, we've got a ton of recruits. The reason why we're doing this is we've had over 45 recruits wanting to be part of the Tuesday Tiger Talk limo appearance. So the best way to do it is to get them all on one show. So we're looking forward to that and doing what we can. And I just want to thank all y'all for coming in here tonight, making it fun. And we're going to do this again next Tuesday.
Yep.
Also, the week of the Carolina-Clemson game, we will have spaces every night. Now, I know that's Thanksgiving week. We won't have it that Thursday night of Thanksgiving that I know of, but we'll definitely have it Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Friday night. And, of course, Saturday's the game. Go ahead, Ant.
Hey, man.
Go ahead, Cliff. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say that, Jay, don't forget about Ramon Robinson next week, too. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. I got you.
Don't forget about Ramon Robinson. We got him coming on, too.
Yeah, Ramon Robinson and Jaden Williams will be on the show next week, and we'll see if we can get Woody to come in next week. We just, for whatever reason, we had some issues, but he'll be back. So, and then CJ's already said that he would be welcome to come in every show, so we'll be glad to have him also. So, Anth, what'd you have?
I also wanted to add in that on November 28th, I haven't told you this, Jay, but maybe we can get together afterwards. But November 28th, it's a Monday. It's after Rival Week. We're going to have a Championship Monday. We're going to have a Championship Monday space. We're going to break down each of the championship games, including the ACC Championship, SEC Championship, all of them, all the way down to the MAC. So join us for that. It might be a little longer than an hour. We might have to start it at 6 and go to 8, and everybody come in and get Bank in here to. I know they'll be in the SEC Championship, so maybe we can get Bank in here to break down SEC Championship days.
Yeah, it could be Georgia, LSU, or Tennessee, Alabama. We don't know what it's going to be right now. There's a lot of teams that have a chance at it.
Yeah, and then the following week, we're going to do a bowl preview. So we're going to have action-packed shows after Rival Week. I don't know if it'll be that Monday, but we're going to do a bowl and playoff preview the following Monday after championship week.
Sounds great, Anthony. I appreciate you bringing us all up to speed, man, and I appreciate you being here and helping me out, and you and Cliff and Nurse, Bank, Justin, CJ, who's not here right now, Boog. I think he was having some technical issues with him. He was in here for a little bit, and all of a sudden he lost some reception. So hopefully everything's good with him. So I just want to thank everybody. Also, starting next week, we will have a Boog's Bet on Boog Pick'em contest. Every week, you bet on Boog. You bet the games against or for Boog. Whoever has the best record, that we have prizes. We have a gift certificate. We have car detailing. We have a photo shoot. We have some different mugs. We can try to get some different teams depending on who you are. We'll have all kinds of different prizes that you can choose from as giveaway. Bet on Boog. Once you come in, Boog will give his picks. You go against him. It'll be recorded by Cliff, and we'll get that done. I think Cliff also has it on the website. Am I correct, Cliff, on that?
Yeah. I've got after tonight, sometime tomorrow, I'll have all these picks up, and all you got to do is go to Winning Edge Sports Network /picks, and if you follow Winning Edge Sports Network, we'll tweet out the link and everything, so you don't have to remember.
Oh my God, do we have it on there now? I mean, do we have last week's picks on there now?
Yeah, we do.
Yes.
Book blew it.
Yeah.
I would really like to see who was right or wrong last week because there was some wild picks.
Well, we only had one person submit answers, and that was me.
Hey, I submitted answers. You changed it on me.
I thought you took it off the recorded space. My bad.
Nah.
Okay. I thought we did it on the show, and I didn't know we had to submit it.
Well, we did, but Boog had all those recorded, not me. Boog recorded all those.
Okay.
But, I mean, yeah.
But anyway, we just got it where you go to winningedgesportsnetwork.com/picks and go on and put in your submission, and we'll have Brooks picks. And we got somebody special here. AD, an LSU fan, wants to say a little something. Let me get him up here real quick before we go. Go ahead and talk, AD.
Hey there, athletes and parents. Looking for a tool to help your child get recruited? Look no further than Clifton Kennedy and Winning Edge Digital, with websites for high school athletes. So whether you play football, basketball, baseball, soccer, or any sport, we cover it all. These websites have everything you need to get started on your journey to becoming a collegiate athlete. Check out Clifton Kennedy and Winning Edge Digital with websites for high school athletes. That's winningedgedigital.com. You can call us at 864-272-2720. Again, that's 864-272-2720.